Page 37, Candlelight Chorale. Here we got a bunch of chords going down at once, so you get to hear the harmonies and all. And we're moving around a little bit, and we got some accidentals to deal with and things like that. Oh, okay. Let's look it over. It's 1 page long. Treble and bass clef, 1 sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major, which means all the F's in the piece are automatically to be played as F sharps. Okay, and there are some F's here. 4/4 time signature. So the hands are playing together, so I'm going to take it one hand at a time. The right hand, you're starting with 1 and 2 here. So you're kind of in this position. Don't forget the F sharp here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Now the thumb comes up. 2. Thumb goes down and up by here. So you can reach to up here if you can, and then back down to 1 and 2 again. For the last measure of the second line, I want a 1 and 4. I want to connect this. So it's the last 2 measures of the second line is here. 1 and 4 here. And then you can lift up to go on. And here, if you want, you can go ahead and use 1 and 5. You're going to lift up at the end of a phrase. You can do that. And then thumb comes down. So I'm not moving. I'm just moving the thumb down. Last line, and 4. This way we're preparing what's coming. We have 2 G's here. We're changing our fingers, our hand position slightly so we can prepare because we have an A coming. I want to prepare for that. So it's 4, that way the little finger's ready. And then here. And then you go back to the beginning. Thumb comes down. So you're moving around a little bit here. Left hand, you got 5 and 1 down here in their whole notes. No big deal. No big deal, I hope, until you get to the 3rd line. That's where the mess starts. At the end of the 2nd line, you're going to lift up the phrase. You just come up here, and then here, and then here. So you're moving around. Now, let's look at the 3rd line, first 2 measures. You're here, and then at the E flat, they went here. And they're telling you use the same finger. I would rather not if possible. I mean, normally, yes, you'd use the same finger for the flat we used on the natural. The problem is when they're back to back like this next to each other, a lot of times it's better to use a different finger. So I'm going to suggest to you here, rather than 5 and 3, scrunch up a little bit and use 5 and 4 and save your 3rd finger for the E flat. So it's here and then here. You think, is this a little where? Well, again, I'm getting you ready for the harder music coming up. So here to here, then come back down. And the last line, same thing, 5 and 2, and 5 and 3. Now 2 and 4, and don't forget the F sharp. It's in the key signature. So I'm going from here to here. Well, isn't that going to be just delightful? It's awkward. A lot of things about piano playing is awkward, but you'll find if you'll just stick with it over time, it gets less awkward. Huh? And then when you go back to the top, you'll have to come down here again. Just a little bit weird. So put the hands together, and when you fret the hands together, you may hesitate. That's okay. Let's go down to the 3rd line. You're here, 5, 2, here. Again. All this together and this together. Then you go back to the top. So you got some things to work out there, and gradually go through slowly. I know you're going to look at the keyboard quite a bit on this. That's all right. Do what you got to do. It'd be nice to eventually play most of it without looking at the keyboard, but I know you're going to have to look for some of it. Then take out the hesitations, and then we'll think about the articulation, which of course they don't give you any. Connect everything as best you can. You can lift up for the phrasing if you can figure out where the phrasing is. Well, I know phrasing ends at the end of the 2nd line, but are the first 2 lines really one phrase? Well, I'm going to listen to the melody here. Here, to be the top note in the right hand. me, that's two phrases. That's a statement and an answer. So the first line is the statement. And then the reply. So I'm going to treat in this piece, I think I'm going to treat each line as a phrase. I'm going to lift up at the end of the line like taking a breath is all. Otherwise, I'm going to connect everything I can. Then we have the dynamics. It's piano at the beginning, piano soft, whatever you think soft is. And I think this is more for the right hand. So on this left hand, I'm going to suggest you keep this really very soft all the way through. Play. How soft can you play this? I want to hear the right hand. Then when you get to the third line, mezzo forte is moderately loud, and you're going to go up. See the two hairpins? That's a swell. You go up and back down. You swell up and back down. So you look in the middle of the hairpins to see what note or notes are there, and that's your target. So you're going to go to those and then back off. And here it's the first notes in the second measure. There, this notes. So those are going to be loud. I'm going to go from moderately loud up to loud and back to moderately loud. It doesn't tell you to go to loud. Generally, you just go up a little bit and back down. And so I'm telling you it's loud. So moderately loud, and this is the right hand. Land on that. Again, it's the right set. Okay, again. So and then back soft. Again. Here so I'm staying loud now for all of those. The two half notes and the whole note. And it'll die away on its own. And then you come back down to sort of soft or whichever. Kind of listen to on the last line, the last two measures, listen to the next to the last measure. You play it loud, but it's going to die away. And just come down, the next one, play that just a little softer than where it is now. Here. So it's going to be softer, but how much? Listen to the piano and let it tell you. And then when you go back to the top, you're soft again. And again, I'm talking right hand. Keep the left hand in the background. Although when you swell up, your left hand can get a little louder too to help. It's better to get into it and get the feeling it where you're interpreting the music and you feel the dynamics. See here, you want to feel the natural accents. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. All right, most of them are half notes and whole notes, and those are all going to be on the natural accent notes. Now there's a DCL fine at the bottom that sends you back to the top, and the finis at the end of the second line. You can take a pencil and thicken that second line there. So it is a thin and thick bar line there at the end. It should look the same as at the bottom of page 36. You see there a thin and thick bar line? That should be at the end of the second line where the fine is. Fermata at the end, or at the bottom there, you just hold that out for however long it feels right. If I do it with a metronome, I'll double it and I'll hold it for 8 counts instead of 4 so I can stay with the metronome. Otherwise, it's whatever feels right. It helps the sound die away because you've been loud and you're not going to play that last chord soft yet. You're still on the loud side because the chord before it won't die away that much. And then you come down a little bit, and then holding this out lets the piano die away and get softer better. So when you go to the top, you're soft. It blends it in a little better. As far as how fast you decide to go, it needs to flow, but it's going to be slow because of all the half notes going on. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms and all. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to play both hands about the same throughout. Let's try it out. We will do the DCL fine. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3 to the beginning.